So we got the movie Dragon is a movie from India, Tamil spoken with English subtitles. This is a romance comedy coming of age movie, but also incorporates musical elements such as singing and dancing in short segments throughout the whole movie. This is my first Kollywood movie I've seen in theaters. Sorry if I didn't correctly say that name. It's not Hindi spoken and India is divided into different regions, so that's why it's from Kollywood and not from Bollywood. Basically, the concept is a young man drops out of college to pursue various other dreams and ultimately gets devastatedly heartbroken by his perfect, beautiful girlfriend. Yes, she is perfect, gorgeous, and beautiful, and changes him for the worse and for the better as he tries to get his life in order and get into the corporate ladder to be successful. However, the demons of his past, basically his principal, notice him and he finds out, hey, you're climbing the corporate ladder, you're being successful, you're about to go to the US, but I'm going to tell the world that you didn't really have your degree. Now faced with the devastating decision, he has to go back to college. Basically, it's like 3 months to finish his degree. Otherwise, the truth will find out. Will he lose everything? Find out as we talk about it. After the release of Love Ya Pa that came out a few weeks ago, which I really enjoyed, I've been on the lookout and on search for international films hitting the US that are made by other countries or other institutions like far away. So I found this movie from AGS Entertainment, which is also associated with Love Ya Pa, and once I was sitting in the theaters watching it, I knew I had to review it right away. The moment I knew I was going to review it was the heartbroken scene when he got heartbroken by the perfect and beautiful girlfriend. If you've been following me for a while, two things. First, I love you and I thank you and I appreciate you. Second, you probably know that before YouTube, before this career that I adjusted in my life, I used to go to school to become a marriage counselor. So I literally had to be in school for a psychology degree to be a marriage counselor. But I quit because I wanted to be YouTube, and knowing what the married characters go through, I really experienced it and connected with it in a weird way. So we meet Raghavan, and I'm sorry if I'm not saying his name right, I do apologize, and I think it was Raghavan turned into Dragon, as a bad boy in college with a lot of swag, reckless, doesn't really care for his studies, good looking, definitely good looking, no homo by the way, and is charming and woos the ladies, but has the chance and the time of his life when he gets into a relationship with the perfect, beautiful girlfriend. So that's where the movie takes place because he drops off after that. I really connected with this movie. The main character is I see myself something in terms of love and relationships because it's universal. And after not getting the girl he liked, which I think it was in high school in like the first 5 minutes of the movie, he changes, and not for the better or for worse. He starts smoking, he starts dressing differently, his hair looks amazing. I mean, he's a good looking guy, but then he gets into an accident based on the heartbreak, and the doctor, which is gorgeous by the way, she says focus on your success and the rest will come after. And literally that night when he gets into the accident, he changes the whole narrative of the movie. But just like other movies in this genre, the twists and turns and how the emotional impacts pulls and tugs at your heartstrings really make you feel a roller coaster of emotions. And the movie really dials a heartbreak. It really makes you feel sad for this guy that really got his life devastated, or should I say turned life upside down. And so now all he cares about is climbing the corporate ladder so he can move to the US and start a brand new life. So that's why I really connected with it. I had my life torn upside down. I never know what pain felt like until the big heartbreak back in 2017. And I feel like that really changed me because all I think about now is success and being better, making money, and like, you know, making networking connections. And I feel like that's why maybe I haven't gotten to a relationship, but more on that later. So I really connected with that. Being heartbroken, not just caring about success, working on YouTube, going to the gym. That's all I think about. And I feel like with this guy, I was like, dude, I feel you even though we didn't grow up the same way and you're like in a different part of the world because this is shot in India and not in the US. I'm like, bro, I feel you. I understand. So we got the girl Kurethi, and I'm sorry if I'm not saying her name right. She is the college girlfriend that he's with and ultimately turns his life upside down. I think when she's breaking up with him in the beginning of the movie, it's raining, it's dramatic. There's singing scene after that. There's like a whole montage of them being together in college. She is gorgeous, but the way she broke up with him was, she says along the lines of, you're a great lover, but you're not the right life partner. And literally when I was in the theater, I think I was like the only non-Indian person there, which is cool, it's fine. And I heard gasps because even in English subtitles, I'm like, bro, that had to hurt. You know, she's like, oh, there's some other guy that my parents want to marry and he's amazing. And then I don't know, to be honest, at the main character, Raghavan, at that point he was kind of a bum. You know, he was just like chilling at home, not doing much with his life. And sometimes it really takes a heartbreak to change everything. And I'm not like, that's not just me overblowing it. It's just in real life. Sometimes it takes a major heartbreak necessary to you to be like, no, it's time for success, it's time to hit the gym, it's time to make money. So I'm like, wow, dude, the way he gets heartbroken with that scene alone, and it's raining and singing and dancing, I'm like, wow. But also it's a good thing because it's a dramatic turn in someone's life, which you do see here. She does disappear for a middle part of the movie, but she comes back in a meaningful way, which I don't want to ruin it for you. But the way she comes back is so interesting because she does stick along. Like, she leaves in the middle of the movie, but then she's back at the end. Not just like the last 10 minutes, the last like 45 minutes. Pallavi, now I'm sorry if I'm not saying her name right. Pallavi is the other perfect, beautiful girl that he's planning to get married after climbing the corporate ladder, so this is probably in the middle of the film. The reason why I'm bringing her up is because after he gains some success, well, he is successful, the way she gets implemented into the film is cool and introduced and weaved in story, showing up at different points in the movie, but she also gets the most amount of screen time. The way they hinted at her in the beginning and the way she stays in the middle, I really like, and I don't want to ruin it for you if you haven't seen the movie. There's also a great scene when they go on their first date, right? She says to him, I gotta make sure you're the right guy for me, I gotta make sure you check the boxes. And other movies use this a lot, and I love to see they use it here. She's like, I gotta make sure you check my boxes. And there's like little tests, like they go to dancing, and she's like, aren't you gonna have a drink? And he says, in the seductive way, he goes like, no, I gotta drive you back home, so I gotta be safe. And it's like, it literally, the movie shows checking the boxes. I'm like, dude, that's amazing, because in other movies, they don't show that, but for this, I thought that was really cool, something you don't normally see in romance movies. But one scene in particular, during the end of their date, they're coming home and it's night and it's beautiful and it's gorgeous, right? It's a beautiful nighttime. She tells him, oh, what about your ex? Like, I heard like you were so in love, like, is there anything you want to say? Like, did you forget about her? And I think, and I'm paraphrasing here, he says something like, I haven't forgotten her, I just got over her. And I'm like, dude, that's such a mature way to handle ex relationships, not just bashing them, but like acknowledging them and then moving on. He might have said something different. Like I said, it's English subtitles, so it's not English spoken, so correct me if I'm wrong. But the way he handled that, I remember that scene. I'm like, dude, that was such a mature way to handle, like, telling this beautiful girl that you're interested in for your future, saying that, yeah, you know, I dated her, she was a great time, but let's just move on. I'm like, bro, that's awesome. And she says something, aren't you gonna talk about my exes? And he says, no, I don't really care. And I'm like, bro, like, that is ballsy and that is brave of him, because why would he care at that point? She's gonna tell him eventually, you know, like when they have bed talk. And I don't know, I just thought that that point, I'm like, dude, that's such a mature way, because if a girlfriend asks me, or if a girl I'm dating, she says, hey, like, what about your exes? I'm gonna be like, you know what? I had a great time with them. I appreciate the experience, but you don't need to worry about them. I don't think about them, I have you now. You know, and the way he handled that, I'm like, dude, that is such great character development. I mean, maybe he was just putting on a front, but at the same time, I'm like, really? Because it did show that he was changing himself, you know? Because when he's climbing the corporate ladder, people have tell him, hey, can I date you? And he's like, no, I've lost all interest in love, because all he cares about is success, but this girl had to bring him down. All the other performance of the characters in the movie do a great job, such as the parents, but also the principal. In the latter half of the movie, which is pretty bizarre to some viewers, there's an intermission. So the movie's 2 hours and 37 minutes. I feel like for other viewers that are not myself, might look at that and might be like, damn, that is too long of a movie, but it's an international movie. And I feel like with international movies, based on the research that I've done, they have like singing and dancing, and they're just way more longer. But it's 10 minutes of intermission, so I went to the bathroom, I did my thing, and I came back. The movie does a great job of breaking up the monotony of the regular movie with singing and dancing, which is cool because it weaves in the pivotal story points in the movie, such as the heartbreak scene, the climbing the corporate ladder, or maybe the finding the love of his life. You know, there's like little montages of music, which is, I thought that was pretty cool, because sometimes like the wedding scene, they do dresses, and seeing other cultures get represented on screen with singing and dancing, but also nice suits and dresses. I'm like, dude, this is great, because you guys remember, I'm in Chicago, Illinois, in Chicago, in the United States, so seeing other cultures or culturas, I thought that was really cool. I did like most of the singing and dancing, although I didn't really like two of the songs, but that's just subjective, that's just my taste. I'm just like, most of them I did like and vibe with, but two of them I'm just like, I didn't like, but it's okay. And when the movie ended, I didn't like, but I did accept it, and then the credits rolled, and then I feel like 1 minute after that, there was another ending, and I'm like, yes, I did like this ending way more than the other ending, because I'm like, but to be honest with you, I really resonated with the story. You know, I didn't think I was going to like this movie. I mean, I thought I was going to enjoy it because it's romance, but I didn't think I was going to be connected with it the way I did. After I got my life torn upside down, you know, like really bad, like I was drinking too much, being inside the wrong people, hooking up with bad girls, you know, it's just, and then now working on YouTube, going to the gym. That's why I connected with it. Love language and relationships are universal. Anyone can get behind it. But it's awesome to see this in a different real world, real life perspective. Because it's from India. And I'm here in Illinois. So going through the same kind of struggles as somebody else in a different part of the world is awesome. I was like, wow, bro, like Raghavan, bro, like I understand you. I know what you're going through because I've been heartbroken and all I care about is being successful in life. Finding the right girl will come later. And once I do, you guys will find out. At the end of the day, I'm gonna give this a grade A-. I thought this was an awesome movie and I would love to watch this again. We already know that it's coming to Netflix here in the States later on, but if it's still in the theaters, I would watch it. If you made it this far, I really appreciate you so much. Maybe consider hitting that like button and turning on notifications so you never miss a video. And with that, take care, bye!